is Samantha. Today I'm here with my shows I've watched recently. Number 6. Yes. I've been watching a lot of TV recently. Just the thing I've been in the mood for, like the media I prefer to consume at the moment. So I literally looking at this list and I'm like, oh my god, that was so long ago. Even though it's not long ago because I've watched so much since, it seems a long time ago. Like I even have number 7 planned, and that's coming as well this month. That's how much shows I've been watching. So yeah, let's just begin. I have 5 shows like always to talk about, and yeah, I have 2 season ending shows. So yeah, let's begin with the first one, which is Alexa and Katie. Talking specifically about season 4, lifelong best friends Alexa Mendoza and Katie Cooper are anticipated the start of their freshman years of high school. They confront the crisis that leaves them feeling like outsiders at a time when what seems to matter most is fitting in. I've talked about the show on my channel before. I love it. It's not like the best show ever, but I feel like it is like, it kind of feels like a typical like Disney Nickelodeon show, but it does add in more of like a serious element as the like Alexa at the beginning of the show gets cancer, and it's a big team throughout the entirety of the show. I just really like the discussions that the show comes up with, not only on cancer. Like Katie also has anxiety. Like we first get introduced to her anxiety at the end of season 3, and then we see it play more into this season, and I really like it. I think it's a fun show to watch, but it has an emotional impact as well, which I can appreciate. Now, this was the last season, and I get why it's the last season, because they start in freshman year of high school, and then the 4th season is like their senior year of high school. So, like, I get the progression, but also I think it would have been so interesting, like a show that is mainly focused on like a friendship between these 2 characters, to see that continue on into college. So I'm kind of sad that it ended, because I feel like they could have done a lot with that, but I am happy the way it ended, and yeah. The next show I watched is Fuller House season 5 specifically. In a continuation of Full House, DJ Fuller is a mother of 3 young boys and is a recent widow. DJ's sister Stephanie, her best friend Kimmy, and Kimmy's teenage daughter all move in to help raise her sons. The house is now a lot fuller. I know Fuller House is not a great show, but if you love Full House, I feel like this is fun to watch, and they rely heavily on nostalgia and throwbacks to the previous show, and like on its own, it's not a good show. I have to be honest about that. But it's just a fun, mindless watch. And I'm kind of sad it's over. And I really felt like in this last season they pondered to that nostalgia even more than before, because they were like, we have to grab in all the references we wanted to make in this one season. So yeah, I eventually like where the season ended up, but at the same time, I like the last scene has me left with a lot of questions, like what did they mean by that? It was so confusing. But yeah, it was fun to have around, but I'm not gonna miss it. Then the next show I watched, I kind of debated about including here because it's a YouTube original show, but I did it anyway. That's Escape the Night. There are 4 seasons, talked about all of them. Ghost YouTuber Joey Graceffa finds himself guiding a number of invited social media personalities into solving puzzles and voting each other off to survive the night and not be slain by various monsters and evils. Basically, this show is a scripted... No, I don't know how to... They have a long tagline that explains it, but I'm not going to do that. But basically, the premise of the show is that they have this cast of YouTubers who all are given like a character, and they're supposed to play into that character, but for the rest, all of what the YouTubers do is improv, and around that they have a bunch of actors that are supposed to like lead the plot, and those are scripted. But everything like the YouTubers do, even though like some will play more into like a character they're given, and some will just like be themselves, and they are basically just, they do whatever they want to do. There's no script to them, and it's a escape room type thing, and it's so much fun and so interesting to watch. I binged these 4 seasons like so quickly after each other. I was so invested, and because there is, even though like each season stands on its own, there's like a underlying lore between all of them which gets delved more into each season. And I feel like the 4th season, which is like an all-star season, I feel like that one really gave like a lot more for the lore, and I was like, oh my god, I needed a 5th season. And they were gonna come out with a 5th season, but that was of course delayed because of the current situation of the world. But damn. Just how the way the lore progresses, I was like, oh, I feel like we're at like a high point, and like season 5 is gonna do a lot of things, but it didn't happen, sadly enough. But like, so my favorite season is season 3, but I feel like that's also contributed to the fact that a lot of YouTubers I already knew and watched were in that season compared to other seasons. That generally was my favorite. I love it so much. I had a couple of questions about people who came back for the All-Star season, but I was like, okay, I wouldn't have invited that person, but okay, I get it. It probably also was available, but I really have a fun time. I like the premise so much. I feel like everything about it is so creative. Then the next show I watch is Mr. Iglesias season 2. A good-natured high school teacher working at his alma mater works with gifted but misfit and interested students. I didn't realize this was just a part 1 of the season. I hate that Netflix is doing that a lot with a lot of shows now. Like, they did it with the last 2 seasons of Full House, I believe. Might have also done that with like a couple more seasons, but I clearly remember like the last 2, and I hate it. Because I was gonna say like this season feels incomplete. It's because it is. I don't know if this was a decision made because of the current state of the world and they couldn't continue filming, so they were like, okay, let's just drop the first half of the season, or if there's like any other reason behind it. But I'm not a fan of like this drop in half season things. So Netflix, please stop doing that. It's not fun. But I really like the show. I originally got into it because a friend of mine watched it and she loved it. So then I watched it and I really enjoyed the first season, and now first of all the second season part, and I still really like it. I think it is very funny. I really love the actors in it. It has a great cast of characters. The main focus of course is Mr. Iglesias, but it also has, I feel like it has a great balance between like the teachers and the students focus on, which I feel like is what Glee tried to do but failed at. I love Glee, but I didn't care about any of the teacher storylines, I'm sorry. But I feel like this show balances the two very well. It's a good show. Watch it. Then the next show, and also the last show on my list, is On My Block season 3, which I want to know, is that the last season or not, because I'm confused. A coming of age story about 4 bright, street savvy friends navigating their way through high school in the gritty inner city of South Central Los Angeles, dealing with the danger of getting their friends out of a gang and friends turning into romance. Danger is constant. I love this show. I feel like this is one of the shows where like the characters feel like real people. Like there's so many characters. I can't pick a favorite character in the show because each time I'm like, oh, that's my favorite character. I'm like, oh no, they have all these things to them that I don't like about them. So maybe not. And I do that with every character because they have so many elements to them that are unlikable, but also so many elements to them that are likable and that feels just like rounded real people. You know, and I really, really enjoy that. I love the storylines, and I have a great time watching it. I feel like they also keep like they do a good job at like keeping lighter moments light and like more heavy moments heavy. I feel like they balance everything so well. So well acted. I love everything about the show, except the ending of this season. I don't like it. That's why I don't want it to be the last season, because I don't really like the ending. Those were all the shows I have to discuss today. I think I'm gonna film the next video in the series as well, just because I have it already planned out. So if you see that and I'm in the same outfit, that's why. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of these shows, if you watched them, down below. And also just like, let's talk about some shows you've watched recently, some recommendations you have from me. I'd appreciate it. I'm running out of ideas, so yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Good.